Mr. Trump, did you lose the 2020 election? The question sliced through the chamber as soon as he sat down. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett didn't wait for cameras or ceremony. The instant his hand left the Bible, she asked again, calm but sharp. It's a yes or no question, Mr. Trump. Did you lose? He stiffened, jaw tight. He had been forced to appear under subpoena, but no one could force him to give a straight answer. Well, if you look at what happened, he began. Yes or no, she repeated. There were millions of illegal votes. That's not what I asked, she cut in. You filed 60 lawsuits claiming fraud. You lost everyone, including in front of judges you appointed. Your own attorney general said your claims were false. Murmurs rippled across the gallery. Bill Barr was weak, Trump muttered. Bill Barr was your attorney general, Crockett replied. You hired him. You trusted him until he told you the truth. She let that hang. So let me ask again, under oath. Did you lose the 2020 election? Silence stretched. Cameras zoomed closer. Somewhere in the gallery, Officer Michael Fanone, the policeman beaten by the mob on January 6th, watched unblinking. The American people know what happened, Trump said finally. I'm not asking the American people, Crockett answered. I'm asking you. She held up a page. Joe Biden, 81,283,000 votes. You, 74,223,975. 7 million difference. 306 electoral votes to 232. In 2016, you won 306 and called it a landslide. By your own definition, Mr. Trump, Biden won a landslide. He tried to speak. His lawyer leaned close. You're twisting my words. No, she said. I'm quoting them. You lost, she went on evenly. Your campaign manager told you so. Your own data showed it. Your daughter accepted it. 60 courts, including judges you appointed, ruled against you. Everyone who looked at the facts knows you lost. She let the words settle like heavy stones. So the only question that matters now is what you did after you lost. Trump found his footing. I had every right to challenge the results? Legally, yes, she replied. And you did? 60 times. And you lost 60 times. She lifted another sheet. Let's review. Arizona, 10 cases lost. Georgia, 8 lost. Michigan, 7 lost. Pennsylvania, 20 lost. Wisconsin, 3 lost. The pattern is perfect. 0 wins. These judges weren't all Democrats. Many were Republicans you put on the bench. Everyone said the same thing. No evidence. She laid the paper down slowly. Your attorney general told you. Your campaign manager told you. Your own daughter believed them. Everyone around you saw the truth. You just refused to. Her tone hardened. In 2016, you won Michigan by 10,000 votes and called it legitimate. In 2020, you lost it by 154,000 and called it fraud. In 2016, Pennsylvania by 44,000 was fair. In 2020, losing by 81,000 was corruption. Every state you win is real. Every state you lose is fraud. That's not patriotism, that's narcissism. A ripple of gasps moved through the audience. She set down another folder. When you couldn't win in court, you tried something else. You met with Attorney John Eastman. He gave you a memo, a roadmap for overturning the election. Step 1. Declare 7 states have competing electors. Step 2. Refuse to count those votes. Step 3. Throw the election to the House, where Republicans hold more delegations. Step 4. You win. She looked up. That wasn't a legal argument. That was a coup plan. Eastman himself admitted it would lose 9-0 at the Supreme Court, yet you pushed it anyway. He opened his mouth. We were exploring options. Breaking the law isn't an option, she said. When your White House counsel called it completely crazy, you ignored him. When your other lawyers warned you it would cause riots, you ignored them too. You went hunting for anyone reckless enough to tell you what you wanted to hear. She flipped another page. You also organized fake electors in 7 states. 84 people signed forged certificates. In Michigan, they met in secret because they weren't authorized inside the Capitol. Those documents were mailed to Congress anyway. She pointed to the screen. That wasn't politics. That was forgery. Then there was a photo of Mike Pence. Trump's visage turned dark. You pressured your vice president for weeks, Crockett said. Called him, tweeted at him, berated him in the Oval Office. Every constitutional scholar told you he had no such power. Still you pushed. On January 6th, you called him once more. When he stood by his oath, you turned him into a target. She tapped her tablet and the tweet appeared behind her. If Mike Pence does the right thing, we win the election. In your mind, the right thing meant breaking the law. Hours later, rioters were chanting to hang him. She opened another folder. Let's talk about your speech at the Ellipse. You stood there for 70 minutes and told the crowd to fight like hell. 20 times you said fight. Once you said peacefully. You told them to go to the Capitol. She glanced up. And you knew some were armed. Your aide Cassidy Hutchinson testified under oath. You said, I don't care that they have weapons. They're not here to hurt me. Take the mags away. A hush spread. You knew and you sent them anyway, to the place where Congress, your vice president, and hundreds of officers stood. She moved to a large digital timeline. 1:10 p.m., your rally ends. You promise, I'll walk with you. Instead, you return to the White House, sit in the dining room, and turn on the television. 1:50 p.m., first barriers breached. 2:12 p.m., rioters inside the Capitol. 2:24 p.m., you tweet that Mike Pence didn't have the courage. At that exact moment, Pence is being evacuated. You knew, you watched, and you attacked him again. She gestures to the monitor's chaos, smoke, swinging flags. This is what you saw, Mr. Trump. Officers screaming for help. Dozens injured already. Then from the gallery. Officer Michael Fanone, please stand. He rose slowly, scars visible along his neck. Crockett asked, What happened to you? He answered steadily, I was dragged into the mob. They beat me with fists and flagpoles. I was tased until I had a heart attack. Crockett turned back to Trump. He almost died while you monitored the situation. Why didn't you stop it? He looked away. I wasn't aware, she snapped. It was on every channel. You were watching. Another officer stood, Daniel Hodges. I was crushed in a doorframe, he said. They tried to gouge my eyes out. Crockett faced Trump. And the National Guard? You were commander-in-chief. They waited for your order for 3 hours. Instead, you blame Nancy Pelosi, a lie. Congress doesn't command the Guard. You did. 3:13 p.m. Rioters occupy the Senate floor. 4:07 at last your video. On screen, I know your pain. Go home. We love you. You're very special. Crockett's voice was ice. We love you. You're very special. You said that to the people who beat police officers, who smeared blood in these halls, who hunted your vice president. 5 dead, 140 injured. You did nothing for 187 minutes. Why? Trump opened his mouth, closed it. I stand by everything I did. The words dropped like a verdict. Crockett nodded slowly. You stand by it. All of it, the lies, the pressure, the violence, the silence. She stepped closer. Was it worth it? Was your ego worth Officer Sicknick's life? Worth the scars Fanone carries? Worth the nightmares Hodges lives with? Look at them! He glanced toward the officers, then away. You can't even look at them, she said softly. Because you know the answer. It wasn't. She picked up one final sheet. These are the words of the oath you took. I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. On January 6th, you did none of those things. You didn't preserve it. You tried to subvert it. You didn't protect the Capitol. You sent a mob to attack it. You didn't defend democracy. You tried to overturn an election. That's not patriotism. That's betrayal. The chairman's gavel fell. All in favor of referral? A chorus of ayes. All opposed? A few nays. The motion passes. Trump rose, face bright red, said nothing. As he left, he passed Officer Fanone. Their eyes met. Fanone did not blink. Trump looked away first. Outside, reporters shouted questions. He muttered, no comment, and walked on. Moments later, Crockett stepped to the microphones. They asked if it had been worth it. She paused. The American people deserve accountability. That's what today was about. Officer Fanone's scars aren't theater. Officer Sicknick's death isn't theater. Making a former president answer isn't political. It's justice. Behind her, the officers emerged. Fanone spoke quietly. For 3 years, we waited for someone to ask him the questions he couldn't dodge. Today, he had to face us. I was tased until my heart stopped while he watched TV. That's the truth. Hodges added, some of us still have nightmares. We defended this Capitol. He didn't. Today, someone finally made him answer. Eugene Goodman stepped forward. I took an oath. So did he. The difference is I kept mine. Later, long after the cameras had gone, Fanone stood alone on the Capitol steps where he'd almost died. Crockett joined him. Couldn't sleep either? She asked. He shook his head. Never can. Did it help? She said. He thought, maybe. I got to look him in the eye and watch him look away. He's not sorry. He'd do it again. But maybe someone watching won't. They stood in silence, the Capitol glowing behind them. We held the line then, he said. We're holding it still. Months later came the indictment, charges of conspiracy, obstruction, incitement. Crockett released a single sentence. No one is above the law, not even a president. Across the country, screens filled again with her words from that day. It wasn't worth it. Families watched in silence. Some called it justice, some vengeance, but none could deny the truth they'd seen spoken aloud. And somewhere far away, in a quiet cabin lit by a television glow, Officer Fanone picked up the medal left on his table and whispered to the dark, "We held the line." Outside, night settled over a country still arguing, still remembering, but for the first time in years, telling the truth.